Well, hello everyone. This is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here. Welcome once again to Inspirations for Your Life. And if you are new, well, what I would love you to do is take out your phone and scan that QR code in the top of your screen. If you have any issues trying to get to it, it leads you to my link tree, which actually is linktr.ee/JOHNCMORLEY, serial entrepreneur, SERIALENTREPRENEUR. And that'll give you a plethora of the stuff that I am involved with, all kinds of video content and all kinds of other great stuff. If you are new, you'll know that every single day we have a new topic based around a series main topic, which starts every Saturday and ends every Friday for 7 days. If you are coming back, well, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and associates. It is so wonderful to have you here and to being one of my loyal subscribers. And hopefully some of my new visitors will become loyal, just like all of you out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So what is the topic for tonight? Well, that's a great question. The topic is, what is one step you can take to get closer to goals? And we're in episode 5. We have 2 more episodes for this main series. So first thing I want to share with you, you're probably noticing my hat here, believe and achieve. All right. So before you can achieve a goal, you need to believe in it. This is my QR code here. And yes, one of my companies actually does print caps now. So really, really happy about that. And we can ship them all over the world. But listen, when we talk about getting to a goal, I think the biggest challenge is, where do you get started? What do you do? And so, for example, right now, one of the goals I'm working on is putting together a float for a big parade that's coming up in our town to celebrate 100 years this coming May 21st. And, doing this might seem easy, but there's a lot of parts that have to go to it. Just like even putting together a video intro like the one you saw before there. There's a lot of pieces that have to come together, that have to be tested and verified. And when they work properly, well, that's a great thing. And it doesn't just happen like that. You see, there are steps you need to take. But as I said before, ladies and gentlemen, there are what I want to say baby steps you need to take. Don't take a big step, take a baby step. Why? Because if you take a baby step and you keep taking small baby steps, eventually you'll feel comfortable enough to take real big adult steps. But taking consistent baby steps is not a bad thing. It's a good thing because you'll be consistent and you will stay on your path to achieve your goal. Now, if you get people in your life and like, hey, John, I don't want to do baby steps. I just want to do the big steps. Well, the problem with taking a big step is that, first of all, you may not be physically, mentally, physically, and emotionally ready to take that big step. But you're going to be okay to dip your toe, right? So if you're going in the pool and you don't want to just plunge right into the polar bear swim, or, a lot of people, they'll check the temperature of the water before they go in with their finger. And if it's a little cold, they'll kind of wait. But a lot of people will just dip their toe in. And if it's comfortable enough for their toe, they're like, okay, I'll put my foot in. Then I'll put my rest of my leg in, right? Up to let's say my calves, then my shins, then my knees, thighs, waist, lower stomach, upper stomach, until I'm finally totally in the water. But in life, if we take little steps, right, and we dip our toe in, right, but you don't want to just dip. You want to keep taking, I'm going to call it consistent dips. So if you dip your toe in, you want to keep dipping different parts of your body, right? In life, entrepreneurs fail because they try to launch this fantastic plan, which is so mammoth, and they've never launched a smaller plan, right? I think that's what happens, and it becomes a little bit troublesome to know that this is what's going on. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, that it can be slightly challenging for all of you to comprehend the concept of believe right here and achieve, right? Because if you believe something, you will achieve it. If you don't believe it, well, you're not going to take the steps because you're going to be second guessing yourself. And we all know from Henry Ford, if you believe you can do something, you're right. And if you believe you can't, you're also right. As I've said before, people will kill to get on a moving train or plane. But when it's safely in the station or on the runway, no one sees any urgency to get on the plane or the train. I'll give you an example. So I'm selling space for this float that I'm putting together. And, when I had no spaces available, right, it was easier to sell. But when I tell people in the beginning that there is a limited amount of space, or there's only X spaces left, people were like jamming to want to get a space. And you get some people that say to you, I got to think about it. And that's why I tell people, if I don't hear from you today, understand that, we know you're not interested. Plus, the spaces are going to sell out. So I think that's an important point. And we need to know, just like a GPS does, how do we stay on course? And we stay on course by making little minor and micro adjustments, right? So if you want to become, I don't know, let's say you want to become a race car driver. What's the first baby step you could take? Well, the first baby step you could take would be to watch people on TV in professional race cars, right? Second step might be getting some magazines. Another step might be actually going to a racetrack. A third step might be to go to some events where you can talk to some of the race car drivers, and they have these a lot of times. So these are the things you can do. You can take baby steps. Baby steps are great because they let us know whether what we're looking for is on plane with what we're going to do. Because a lot of times people do things like, they play sports. So they spend a fortune on golf clubs. Then they decide they want to do soccer, or they want to do ice hockey. And that costs a fortune to buy all that equipment. And then it becomes just like a fad and nobody does anything. So what's the difference between propels you forward to achieve a goal and something that just is kind of nice to do? Well, that's a really multi-million-dollar question, and it's different for every person. I think the best way to understand this is that everyone is different. And so when we can appreciate that, that means that because we're all different, different things motivate us, right? When we want to achieve a goal, nobody ever thinks about taking a small step. We always say, oh, gee, I want to take a mammoth step. Like if you want to be a millionaire, I want to do this right overnight. And that's great. But that might frustrate you because you may not get where you want to be in a short period of time. You're like, I don't want to do anything. For example, many of you know that I've been on a health kick for a very long time. Many years ago, I got off soda, which I believe that was, I'm going to say about maybe, I'm going to say probably about 20 years ago. And about 25 years ago, I vowed to never do any fast food again. Where we are today didn't happen from this moment. It happened from yesterday and the thoughts before. So many years ago in college, I was 165 pounds. Got out of college, I was pushing 230, 235, and that wasn't comfortable. Knowing that you get in your car and your side or your back is always knocking your phone off, that's not comfortable. And so what do? You starve yourself. Maybe you hire a professional coach, and then you get disappointed because, they really can't help you. Not because they're not good, but because usually they're trying to make money and they're not going to help you do what's necessary. They're going to put you on this cold turkey diet, and that's not good. So a while back, I had made the decision that I want to lose weight, not because I have to, but because I want to. I want to feel better and I want to get a hold of my metabolism. So, what do I do to take baby steps? Well, I tried doing weights. That was a baby step. It got me conditioned into the feeling of knowing what it was going to be like to be healthy, which is great. Also, several years ago, I think it was about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I got very strict with reverse osmosis water. And so, about 10 years ago or 20 years ago, when I stopped soda, I then went to the fact that I needed to drink juice and stuff like that. But juice wasn't great for you either if you drank too much of it. So then I kept realizing the last year or two, I lose weight, I gain weight. I lose weight, I gain weight. I'm like, why is this happening? How is it happening? I mean, I'm trying, but I guess I'm not doing the right things. And we know Einstein said if you do the same thing over and over again, multiple times, and expect the same results, that's what you're going to get. But if you do the same thing over and over again and you expect different results, that's insanity. Insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So then I realized that, I'm already eating healthy. I wasn't eating fried foods, but I still wasn't really losing much. I'd go down a pound, go up a pound, and it was kind of like that. And then the holidays, I'd put on 4 or 5 pounds, but my metabolism was not really tuned well. And then I think it was about, I'm going to say, probably right after the holidays, right around January, that I said, you know what? Enough is enough. How can I get to become healthier, even though I don't need to, so I can live a longer life, healthier life? How can I do that without having to go on diets and all kinds of things that are going to make me unhappy? I said, I guess maybe I should try watching what I eat. But that's a little hard to do. So I downloaded this free app. They have a free mode called MyFitnessPal. I downloaded that app and I started becoming very religious of putting things in there. I mean, even tonight I made myself crab cakes. I put in what each crab cake cost in calories. When I have French fries, I weigh out 3 ounces, which is 100 and some calories. I think it's like 135 or 145 calories for Orida 3 ounces of French fries. And I started getting content with portions. I also made chocolate pudding for myself this week. Now you're going to laugh because I took the chocolate pudding, the one package, and the 2 cups of milk. Mine was 2% fat milk. Mixed it all up. You have basically 5 minutes before it starts to set. So you got to move pretty quickly. You only have a minute or two to mix that. Then you have to pour it out. So what I did is I took little plastic cups, just like this. And then what I did is I put in basically about that much in each plastic cup. And so it was just enough for maybe 2 or 3 teaspoons full. And I made 12 of those cups with that mixture. So instead of it costing me $100 for a normal portion, and you'd get 4 of those in a package, I was probably only eating about 15 to 25 calories. So the baby step I took was realizing that I can lose the weight and I can keep it off. And I'm very happy to report right now that today's weight check-in is right around 195 from like 235 not too long ago. I'll be at my goal of 165 by probably the end of July. But now that I understand how to eat and I understand what things cost, one of the biggest ones was pasta. A lot of people, my family being Italian, my mom's side, we love to eat pasta, right? But when you eat pasta, that kind of depletes your calories for the whole day. So when I want to have pasta, I'll have 1 or 2 ounces. 1 ounce of pasta is like 100, 126 calories. When you eat 10 ounces of pasta, you just ate 1,200 to 1,500 calories. And you don't really have room for much else. Now, I'm supposed to be eating around 2,000 to 2,400. I'm keeping it right around 2,000. And I am losing weight. My goal is to lose about 2 pounds a week, which I'm doing. Now, what can happen is, you have things like soup. Like today I had soup. I had Italian wedding soup, which was great, but there's salt in the soup. And so it causes you to blow up with water weight. And it could take anywhere from 2 to maybe 5 days to get rid of that water weight. So what did I do that's making this work? Well, first thing I realized is that I can do this. The second thing I did was say, in order to lose weight, I need to get serious and I need to start tracking everything. Because I can either celebrate my short-term gratification of eating this huge piece of pie, or wait and celebrate long-term gratification by looking at my stomach and knowing that my stomach is a lot thinner, and knowing that when someone looks at my shirt, you can't even tell I have a stomach. So that's a cool thing, right? A lot of people, though, are not motivated enough to take the step. So a baby step for you to take if you want to lose weight, start logging the food. If you don't have time to log the food you eat, the choice of whether you stay on this earth may not be yours. I bring this up because there was a person that I met through one of the online networking groups during the COVID period. And the gentleman weighed quite a bit. I don't know his exact weight, but if I had to guess, I would probably guess it was over 200, maybe even 230, 240, 250, a lot. And when you try to tell somebody something, they might get a little offensive. You say, hey, you should lose weight because it's none of your business unless somebody asks you. And he was in this business that sold these water purification systems, which I thought was great. I just had this inkling in the back of my mind that if he didn't lose weight, that something was going to happen to him. And I was right. He died of a heart attack. So does that mean that you can't have chocolate pudding? Does that mean you can't have chocolate cake? Absolutely not. Have things in moderation. Keep your stomach in a proportion that's going to make you look attractive, make you feel healthy. I'll give you another reason. When I walk up and down stairs, about 6 months ago, I'd walk up and down stairs. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like out of breath. And that's when I knew that I wasn't in shape. Now, in shape, yes, you can tone your muscles, tone your body. And I also do planks every morning. 3 minutes of planks in the morning, 3 minutes of planks at night. That's another baby step I take. You know why? That's building my core muscles and actually helping me burn calories in the process. Now, some people won't take this step, and I feel very bad for this gentleman. I'm not going to mention his last name. His first name is Larry. And I feel very bad for him and his family, because if he would have been able to start looking at what he was eating, he might have lived a lot longer. And you might say to me, John, but I like my sweets. I like my cake. I like my stuff. Well, you can like it, but you don't need to be eating this stuff as your supply to live. So my rules of eating have changed. I used to eat because I loved to eat everything that was out there. Now, the food I eat, I look to put good nourishment in my body. I still like to have my chocolate and sweets, but I know what every sweet costs. I'll give an example. I was at a event this past Saturday. We called it a speakeasy for my town. There was close to 500 people at that event. And they had all kinds of drinks and liquor. Well, I had a spritzer, which was just some seltzer and just a tiny bit of cranberry juice. Had a couple of those. and they passed around different things. And what I said to myself is, I can have one of everything. Don't have more than one of everything that gets passed around. Second thing is, when I went to the tables, I looked for everything that was not fried. Didn't touch anything fried. When it came time for the table and there was pasta, I took literally, when I tell you, two or three tablespoons of pasta. That was it. There was even a French fry table there and mashed potatoes. I had a little bit of French fries. I had a little portion like this, probably just like this. You can see that. And then for mashed potatoes, I had a little portion, maybe just about. So my French fries was probably like about that. My mashed potatoes probably like that. Then it came time for dessert. And I really have to commend the chef because he did something that was very admirable. They had chocolate chip brownies, but you know what they did? They cut them into little squares like this. So maybe I had 4 or 5 or 6 of those little brownie squares, and it was perfect. And I might even had a couple chocolate chip cookies. Now, did that put me over my calorie count? It might have. But because my body was in a metabolic state of burning during the week, my body just went right through that. Now, I don't say to do that every day, but be cognizant of what you're eating. So tomorrow I'm going to a restaurant in town. Haven't been there in a while for what they call hibachi. They've had regular food there where they'll do hibachi in the kitchen, but I've been craving to go there for the hibachi cooking. And so I know that when I go there, my plate, okay, is probably going to be about 1,500 calories. Let's just call it that with everything. And so I know that at dinner time, I'm going to have something very small, right? Don't not have anything, okay? So typically, if you go to one of these places and you ask me, John, how much is, what are the calories in a hibachi, let's say a hibachi meal, okay? And it's going to vary, right? Hibachi cooked meals can be good choices. Chicken meals offer manageable 353 calories. Okay. How many calories are in hibachi chicken and rice? Well, calories in the hibachi, I think they call it the fried rice, right? That's going to give you right around 250 calories. How many calories in the hibachi noodles? Right? 419. So now that I know, okay, that there's 250 in the rice and there's 250 in the noodles and there's 340 in the meal, right? I'm budgeting that meal is costing me 1,500. Even though it's not, I'm over calculating. These are baby steps. And when you get into a pattern that you're comfortable about, your body's okay with that. Tonight, I'm going to have maybe 1 or 2 of those small little chocolate puddings with a thing. You know what I've also been doing? Because I always like desserts at night. I bought these healthy fudge pudding pops. They're like 90 calories a piece. And I'll have that with a tea. And I am so happy with that. And when you go to an event and you have a piece of cake, just be mindful of what you're having. So I take the cake and I have them divide it into 2 or 3 slices. So understanding what things cost, even though I have pizza during the day, like today, I had pizza, right? And when I got home tonight, I actually found out that I had my dinner and I still have 600 to 800 calories left. You want to keep your metabolism running. And the reason is if you keep firing it up, your body's going to keep burning weight. This is really, really crucial. I cannot stress this enough. But taking a baby step to lose weight is not going to go to the gym. That's not going to help you because going to the gym will put you in a mind frame, which is great, but it's not going to get you to lose weight. It's a nice ancillary thing you can do, but it's not the only thing you can do. And when sometimes people go to a coach and they say, do this and do that, and they starve them or they put them on these intense exercises and they hate it and they want to get off. I'm not really on a diet according to my standards. Somebody else would think this is a diet. I have my breakfast in the morning, which is orange juice. I log that. I'll have my honey bunches of O's, and I'll usually do a cup, not like fill the whole bowl, because that would be 3 cups. So that's it. That's a savings right there. Sometimes I'll have a banana, sometimes not. Just depends. And then for lunch, sometimes I'll have a slice of pizza. Maybe I'll have a buffalo chicken slice and I'll log it, or a regular slice. And I have one slice, and I'm happy with that. Today, I had the Italian wedding soup and a slice of a chicken margarita. So you might say, "Oh my gosh, John, that was expensive." Two. I was like 400. You're right, but my dinner tonight was in line. I had 2 crab cakes. I had a few French fries, and now I'm going to have a little bit of dessert. Which, even if I have 2 of those, I'm probably not even going to top 50 calories. See how that works, ladies and gentlemen? When you want to reach a big goal, okay, this even can work well with project management. As many of you know, I do that. Seeing the entire ocean or the big project can be daunting. But if we break it down into small tasks, we need to do this first. We need to do this next. This. And then we go from there. Right? Baby steps, ladies and gentlemen, can be the key to not only keep you motivated, but will keep you on the path until you reach your success. Now, you know what I do when I looked at the scale and I logged in what I lost? I was happy. And knowing that even though it's a slow process, I'm just so happy of where I've gotten and where I've, come to, that I find it to be a joy to keep doing this because I'm seeing results. When you take a baby step in your life, you want to see some results. If you don't, I can understand how you'd get frustrated. So the moral tonight is try to achieve a goal. Definitely like, love, support the video. Comment below. What are you trying to achieve? Can I help you come up with a baby step? Be happy to do that for you. And then tag your friends, colleagues, and associates, share it out with them and everyone you know on social media. And then, of course, after you share it out, go to my YouTube channel, John Morley Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. And then, ladies and gentlemen, make the choice to buy my team and I a cup of coffee by clicking on that PayPal link. We'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new staff, and even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational inspiration, get off your butt content to get you into action, to take those inspired steps, even the baby steps, to help you stay on your path and achieve your goal. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur. Remember, in order to achieve, you need to believe. Scan my QR code, and we will see you guys back tomorrow night, Thursday, which is episode 6 of this series. Can't wait to be here for you, share some more information, and help you guys to achieve those goals which seem out of reach. And I have to tell you something, and I said this to myself a long time. If I can lose weight, which is probably one of the hardest things people see, I could do anything in my life. And now that I've unlocked that code in my brain's like, yeah, John, you can do anything. And you can do the same thing. Have yourself a wonderful night, everyone. And I'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Oh, and be sure to tell your friends about me because I'd be very, very grateful for that. Okay.